everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is my podcast, Up in the Clouds, and we are here today with episode 22. And today we are going to talk about limiting beliefs and sort of what it is, where they come from, how to get over them, and how to overcome them, and how to let go of those to really truly become the most successful version of ourselves by letting those go. So before we get into the episode, I always like to do a little life update. So as of next week, Friday, I will be posting an episode, these episodes every Friday. So Friday is the day, people, mark it down. This week with I'm gonna put this back on I have a thing to kind of hold it, the microphone, but with the holiday and stuff, I ended up doing a lot more than I was expecting to do this weekend. I was just going to be in Illinois Friday night, and then I ended up staying the entire weekend because my friends, they got a puppy, so I was, and I don't really get to see them a lot, so I just ended up spending the whole weekend with them. And that was not the original plan, but it ended up being, sometimes that's the best plans, is unplanned things. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and but now we're here and now we're back, and next Friday and Fridays from now on is going to be when the episode drops, and anything if it comes up, I will update you guys. But Friday is the new official day of new episodes, so stay tuned on Fridays. What else? Nothing really too much going on right now. Yeah, just living life, going through life. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, no other really big life updates, honestly. It's kind of going through the motions. Yeah. Getting back into things and hobbies that I used to do. Just kind of trying to find myself again. I just feel I've felt really lost and sort of just felt very not where I want to be, and trying to find myself again. So it's been a journey, and it always is. Life is not easy, and if it was easy, we would be boring. So let's dive into the episode. So what is a limiting belief? A limiting belief is a state of mind, a conviction or a belief that that we have that sort of limits us in a way. Obviously, limiting belief. It limits us to the life that we want. It limits us in, ways that affect us, our lives and the things that we want from life, and where and how to, that just what am I trying to think of? It just limits us from, that it builds these insecurities that it's deeply subconscious, in our brains. It's not it's not really these limiting beliefs in our subconscious dictate our conscious mind, which creates this barrier for us, and it gives us, it restricts us to live life, the safe way, the way that, we're necessarily not happy either. And it just creates these obstacles for our life path and what we are destined to do. Where do they come from? They originate from experiences, events, from our parents, grandparents. We can have passed down limited beliefs, deep rooted, and they subconsciously internalize these fears and insecurities in our brain that drive our behavior and our choices subtly, but very powerfully, because they're subtle, but they're so subtle in our brain, but they affect us so powerfully that they hold us back from the things that we want from life, from success, from whatever. And often we just settle for something, and that's not in alignment with our core values or where we want or what we want from life because of limiting beliefs, and we keep ourselves stuck in this, in a situation that doesn't align with us, that doesn't align with our purpose, because we are so afraid to do the things because of these limiting beliefs that we have deep rooted in our subconsciousness. So where do we start? What do we like? How do we identify them? How do we get over them? These are the questions that I found myself asking as soon as I started learning about limiting beliefs and sort of where they come from. So if you grew up in a middle class, lower class environment, you have probably a lot of negative limiting beliefs about money. You probably believe that you will not be successful in life because like subconsciously, not that you conscious, like a lot of these are subconscious. Like you were raised middle class, therefore you will stay in middle class because that's what you think you are worth. Unfortunately, that's a very unfortunate thing that's in our society, is that we usually stay in the classes that we were raised in because we were raised to believe negative views about people who had money or just money in general. We don't believe that money is an unlimited resource. We don't believe that money can come, that we can attract money, that we can manifest money, because we believe we have to work hard for our money. We believe that you cannot be, that you might even have a belief that you have to be okay and stable, you have to have multiple jobs and be completely stressed out about money. You may believe that, that is normal. You may believe that there is stress around money, therefore you kind of create a barrier around money. If you grew up in a neighborhood where you didn't have a lot of money but other people did, you, like I said earlier, you kind of have a negative view about people who have money, therefore you are holding yourself back from allowing yourself to have money subconsciously, because you think that people with money are bad people, therefore you will never be someone with money. And it's a very weird thing to kind of like comprehend, because it kind of goes against, it goes against literally everything we are taught. It goes against everything we've ever known. I remember learning about this stuff. I was like, huh? Like I was so just like thrown off for a loop about learning about this stuff, because it really sort of, we're taking our mind and we're taking these things that have been instilled in our brain since birth, and twisting it completely and throwing it out the window and just like believing in something completely different, completely reshaping and everything we've ever learned and thought about anything in life. So when we start to identify what our limiting beliefs are, we don't believe that we are worthy of the dream job because it's not sustainable. We are taught that being a musician, being anything related to acting, anything that's sort of out of the ordinary, anything that's not a normal corporate 9-to-5 matrix, like bullshit life that we are taught that we have to do in order to be successful. When we are at the age of a social media craze, it is so easy to get noticed online and build a business online. It is very easy to, if you look at some of the biggest TikTokers right now, they were literally nobody a year ago. They were going to be like going to college and stuff, and then they ended up blowing up online. Now they're some of the richest people in the world. And those are just like little examples. Like social media is nothing like it was ever. It wasn't even a thing when our parents were young, so therefore they don't really understand it. Therefore, they create limiting beliefs towards us that we can't do the things that we can, even though it's not hard. It's a lot of work. Like YouTube is a lot of work. It's not easy to be a YouTuber. But TikTok is, you just need one video to blow up and then keep those consistent views and followers coming in, and boom. There you go. You're making money off TikTok right there. So that's what I'm saying, like our age, and it's very like with online being what it is and online platforms, it's very easy to sort of take that, that belief that we have been taught that we can't do the things we want to do when it's a lot easier now than it ever has been, to do things that are outside of the corporate bullshit that we think that we have to follow. So when we identify what our limiting beliefs are and sort of challenge that, when we sort of let go of that need for that third party approval, when we sort of in that people pleasing, when we let go of trying to please our parents, please our friends, and you might not even realize that you're doing that, but for example, when I started talking about this months ago, before I started doing YouTube, I got a lot of negative feedback from the people around me at that time about it, and it held me back from starting it because their inputs, what they were giving me when I was talking about starting this podcast, starting my channel in general, created a limiting belief that I was not good enough to succeed, and it was messing with me. So my recommendation is, whenever you're trying to work on a project and or uproot your life, change your life, is to maybe not share what you are trying to do with everyone. Maybe find a few people, because it's always important to talk about people, there are people that will lift you up and support you, but it's just being very careful and making sure that you're only telling your dreams to people that are going to uplift you and not create more limiting beliefs than you're already trying to push away by breaking out of that ordinary box that everyone believes that they have to be in, when we don't need to be in that. When we let go of that identity, when we let go of that third party approval, and we just sort of put it in ourselves and find a few good people to surround ourselves with that really believe in us, then we can succeed. But it's still letting go and making sure that the one person that we are getting all of our feedback from is within ourselves. When we let go of pleasing other people, I can't tell you how many times I've heard people liking somebody, but they can't be with them because their family wouldn't approve, or their friends wouldn't approve, or this and this and that. Therefore, they are settling in a relationship, they are settling in a job, they're settling in a marriage, because they are limiting themselves to believe that this is all they are worth. They believe that their friends are not going to approve of somebody outside of the friend group, so they have to stay in the relationship that's in the friend group, or something like that. Or in a job setting, they don't believe that they're worth having a job that sets their soul on fire, that's they're passionate about. They just believe that, oh, I need to make money, so I have to stay in a job that I'm happy with, but it gives me money, so whatever. But no, we need to challenge that. What is life? Life is so short. What is life if you aren't happy? What is life if you are not satisfied? What is life if you are not living every day like it is your last? What is life if you're not doing something that completely sets your soul on fire? What is life if you are with somebody because they don't even make you happy, but it's you think that is all you're worth? You think that this is you are settling for this relationship because you don't think you are worth being with someone who actually does make you happy? Or you don't believe that your friends would approve if you left that person because they're in your friend group or whatever. And so you don't ever take that risk to be with somebody you actually want to be with, because you're just going to settle. And you're well, this person kind of makes me happy sometimes. But and that's what those are little signs of little beliefs that hold us back. A big limiting belief that that holds us back in life surrounds around money and career, and we just believe that we aren't worth millions of dollars. We don't believe that we are worth having all this money. We don't believe that money is an unlimited resource. We don't believe that we can attract anything we want in this life. We don't believe that we could be the career that we want to be, because we are so held back by all these limited beliefs that half the time are not even from us. They are from the people that are around us. That is where we have to separate ourselves and sort of detach yourself from the third party approval, from the people pleasing, from your friends, from your family, and just really go within and trust and develop your own intuition, your own gut, and not cut out, but not necessarily talk about certain things around people who are going to create either more limiting beliefs and or keep those limiting beliefs stuck in your head that are keeping you held back from your dream life, from being successful subconsciously, because they're creating these insecurities and this self-doubt and this cycle that's going to keep going in your head. It's going to keep you in that place. When even talking about moving and trying to move to a different state, I can't believe the amount of negativity that surrounds that. When in reality, these people don't even take the time. Like some of my friends, for example, they all think that they can't afford to live in Denver, but they can afford to live downtown Milwaukee, when they haven't even taken the chances to look at what apartments, like the cost of apartments in Denver are very similar to the cost of apartments in downtown Milwaukee. But they don't even give themselves, they're like, it'll never happen, so I'm not even gonna look. Like they don't even let them open their mind up to that possibility, because they are so stuck that they have to oh, I can afford Milwaukee or Madison, when in reality it's about the same price in both places. They just don't give that opportunity to look, so therefore they keep themselves in a state, in a city that they don't really want to be in, but they're in it because family, or they think that they can't afford to live where they actually want to live, when they could. Because if cost of living is higher, and even if it is higher living costs, you get paid more because it's more expensive to live there. But that's a whole other topic. So when we identify what our limiting beliefs are, what, surrounding money, career, relationships, whatever it is, when we identify that, we can work to overcome those through affirmations. And mainly, I would say affirmations are probably the biggest thing that will help you sort of rewire your brain subconsciously, because when you are replacing a negative thought with a positive one, believe me, it's not easy. It's not easy whatsoever. But when you're repeating them to yourself throughout the day several times, slowly but surely, you are rewiring your brain and pushing those limited beliefs out the window, which is exactly what we want to have a successful life. When we are not being held back by anything, by beliefs, our own from our own self, that's when we succeed. That's when things attract to us. That's when it becomes easier and easier to manifest the life that you want. So several times a day, you're repeating those affirmations in your head and telling yourself that you are good enough, you are capable of being successful, you are worthy of being wealthy, you find it easy to make money, money always comes back to you. Replacing things in your vocabulary like I can't afford, I will never be able to afford, that is expensive. Just replace those just 3 things in themselves, just replacing those with expensive, you saying the word investment, and or don't tell yourself you're never going to be able to afford it. It's just, oh, right now I can't have that, but I will have it. You're telling yourself that, and that's what creates a lot of this barriers. When you want to be a musician, you need equipment. When you want to be a YouTuber, a photographer, you need equipment, and it is an investment. They are not things that are you just can buy a lot of the times, especially if you have had limiting beliefs about money, so you don't have a lot of resources or funds because you've created this life for yourself that has held you back from being able to attract money. So it is an investment, but when you're telling yourself money always comes back to me multiplied, everything I spend, every dollar, all of this, when you start replacing those negative thoughts with positive ones, watch and see how much your life changes. But the key to it, the whole key that people always forget, is you can say that shit over and over and over, but you gotta believe in it. You got to truly believe in it to make it work. So common examples that can stem in your life from limiting beliefs, so you can sort of maybe you don't think you have any limiting beliefs, but we all do. We all have them, and they're all drudged below the surface. They are things that are subconsciously controlling our conscious mind. And we don't even know they're there sometimes. Like, you don't even, until you start to really dive deep into this and really pull it out of your brain of what is actually a limiting belief, you don't even realize that can be a limiting belief. So some things that, you know, we are doing that can be from limiting beliefs, lack of motivation. So checking your environment. Is there something negative or draining in your environment that is creating a lack of motivation and or procrastination? So a lot of the times it's our fears of like our fear of rejection, our fear of failure that create this procrastination that we push things off, we don't finish things, we just, on to the next project. Oh, this didn't, I don't believe that this could work, so I'm just gonna do this. But then it's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't have motivation to do that, or I don't have time. We are unable to incorporate change in our life. We're avoiding change by telling ourselves we don't have time to do that. I don't have time to make music. I don't have time to be a YouTuber. I don't have time. I want to, but I don't have time. We're avoiding change by telling ourselves that we don't have time, because time is just an illusion. It really is. Maybe you don't know who you are. Maybe you're having an identity crisis, and that all stems from a limiting belief of being told that, you aren't good enough for what you want to do. Therefore, you have no idea what you want to do. You have no solid plan for your life because you've been told that everything you've wanted to do, you can't do. So therefore, you're having an identity crisis within yourself. You have no idea who you really are. You don't know what your strengths are, your core values, and you have to get in touch with yourself first and really find what drives your soul, what sets you on fire, what really and like I said, a lot of the problems that stem around limiting beliefs is they are hidden. We're not consciously making these decisions. These limiting beliefs are quietly deciding things for us and all of our choices. And, they're holding us back. They're manipulating our subconscious mind to think, tricking your conscious mind into believing that you cannot achieve the success that you want. So, how do we do this? We have to boost our confidence in ourselves. And that's, as I said earlier, about letting go of that third party, that people pleasing, and just believing in ourselves more, and to, acknowledge and recognize what caused us to feel this way about ourselves. Me personally, I have a lot of I struggle with body dysmorphia, and just being I had really hard time with confidence, and truly there was a bug on my wall. Truly did not see myself how other people saw me, due to an abusive relationship that created this belief in my mind that he was the only person that was ever going to love me. He told me all the time that nobody was ever going to love me like he did, that I would never find love without him, that every single person I would ever talk to would fuck me over. And then he created these beliefs in my head that I was not good enough for other people, and therefore was always holding me back. Holding me back from relationships, holding me back from going, making my own self emotionally unavailable, because I didn't. So therefore, I was attracting emotional unavailable people. Therefore, it was proving the belief that he had set in my head and just affirming it, But when we're, letting go of that story, when we're letting go of that, oh, I was abused, oh, I was cheated on, oh, this, and that, when we're letting those things go and we're sort of just pushing those, oh, every single person is going to cheat on me. Every single person thinks I am ugly. Every single person, maybe, you used to be a little bit overweight, and so now you don't ever think that you could be the weight that you want to be at, and you just view yourself so negatively because of how you used to be in the past, And we need to, like, how we speak to ourselves has a huge effect on ourselves. So that's why affirmations are super important, to embody that. Whenever we feel a negative thought coming on, is to replace it with a positive one. I personally say all my affirmations to myself, like in a mirror. I feel like that really has a really intense effect on my subconscious, and it really helped. And it still does help, when I am really, like, when I get to a really low place and I do start struggling with my body dysmorphia or confidence, like looking at myself and telling those things to myself. I don't know, it does something like with your subconscious. It sort of helps that. Hi. He was sleeping and now he just woke up. But when you're looking at yourself and you're telling yourself those things, those really help rewire that subconscious like thinking and really help replace that negative with a positive, and it just helps boost your confidence. If you're struggling with feeling like a failure, I don't really like saying that, but if you have a subconscious belief or a limited belief that you think you are a failure because of what people have told you or whatever, it's a sort of like find something to give you that sense of accomplishment. So cooking a unique dish, or painting a picture you've never painted, or writing and publishing something that you've written, and sort of just and gardening, and giving yourself something that gives you that feeling of accomplishing something, finishing a task, and that is going to therefore boost your confidence, because you're like, oh, I did something new, I did something different, I did something completely out of my comfort zone. And yeah, the best way to really figure out like what you want from this life is to sort of find what you're the most passionate about, and find a way to become so proficient at it that you can make that your career, your life, your job. Like I said earlier, everything with this online business stuff it's crazy how you can just create a business online and you can be so successful from just that. And a lot of people don't really believe in themselves enough, and or they don't have people who are giving them that inner confidence to believe in themselves. And that's why we have to find it within. We need to have to, like, when you really truly let go of that neediness from other people, that validation, that's when your life can like truly like change, honestly. So how else, maybe you tried a little bit and you're struggling. What else can help you? A life coach can be super helpful, because in my training, like, we are trained to help people identify limiting beliefs, and we are trained to sort of like help unroot those limiting beliefs from your subconscious, and bring those limiting beliefs to life. Maybe you don't even know like what your limiting beliefs are, or what? Maybe you don't, believe that you have a limiting belief. And, that's another thing, is like, you can sort of just like think that you have a limiting belief about, I don't know what you want. I don't know what he wants. You can think you have like a limiting belief about something, or you could think you don't have a limiting belief about something, but like, obviously, if you're not living the life of your dreams, there is something subconsciously that's holding you back, and you can't figure out. Oh, I just got hair all over me. He is shedding so bad right now. And that's where like the help of a coach, or, watching like self-development videos, getting self-development books, taking, self-development courses can really sort of help build you up to understanding what your limiting beliefs are, and really tackle them from the subconscious to the conscious, and bring your limiting beliefs from your subconscious mind to your conscious mind, so that you can fix them and rewire them and ultimately let them go, so that you can be successful, that you can have the life that you desire. And that's what we all want. We all want to be happy. We don't want to be settled in a relationship, in a career, in a life, in a city, in a, you know, place, anything that is not what makes us happy. There is some sort of limiting belief that is holding us back from becoming that, from having that life that we want. And the biggest thing is to identify it, rewire it, and push it away. And that's truly when you let those limiting beliefs go is when you can succeed. So just being very mindful of how you speak to yourself, the people you surround yourself with, the things that people say to you, kind of sort of like, you know, if you're going through a career change or trying to follow your dreams or your passion, maybe don't necessarily share those with everybody. Maybe just finding, like I said earlier, like a few people you truly trust, who are going to build you up and not tear you down or create more limiting beliefs or keep affirming the limiting beliefs you already have that you're trying to push the fuck out. That's pretty much all, you know, that it is just relying on yourself more than people pleasing and other people in general. But yeah, so that is the episode today. I thought I was really kind of excited to talk about that because I feel like a lot of people don't really necessarily, like, I didn't even know. My mind was completely blown away when I learned about limiting beliefs and why, you know, I was struggling with money and what that, like, it all had to relate from subconscious beliefs that I had instilled inside of me since, like, childhood. And that is what is crazy. And when you really kind of let go of these beliefs that have been instilled in your brain from your environment, from your situations, you can flourish and truly succeed in whatever you want in this life. And you just need to believe in yourself in that. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching with me, to be kind of like a test client, or not like that sounds bad, like a practice client while I'm going through my certification, I am open right now for clients. Obviously everything's done via FaceTime, you know, online, or we can meet in person if you are close enough, and we can tackle limiting beliefs and sort of where yours come from, and really rework them and rework your thinking and start working towards the life that you want. And another big limiting belief is age. Like, we believe that age, you know, we can't start over because of our age, or we can't do this or that because of age. And that's just another limiting belief that society has placed on us, that, you know, there's an age limit for everything, and letting that go, you know. So if you are someone who is not happy with life, or not even not happy, but just not satisfied, you feel like life is missing something, you're missing that passion, that, you know, whatever, and you're interested in coaching, please DM me on Instagram, or I can refer you to more advanced coaches if that is something you're interested in. I follow so many amazing women on Instagram and on YouTube, and I can refer them their videos and stuff to you as well, if you want something a little bit more advanced. But if you are interested, I would love to help you as well. So please, it's in my description, my Instagram link. You can DM me on there, or you can email me, which is also linked in the description below. But yeah, I think I'm gonna like kind of stop it there. And if you have any questions, also please feel free to DM me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for being here with me. I am really grateful to, you know, keep pushing along, and the people who support me and listen to this. I am forever grateful for you. So thank you so much for being a part of this with me and this journey. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. Any other things that you'd be interested in hearing more about, any topics or whatever that you would like me to cover, please leave a comment, let me know. And tap that little notification bell so you can get a notification anytime I post, because I like to do other videos on top of these podcast episodes. So if you're interested in kind of, keeping along with life with me, tap that bell and you can get notified anytime I post a video. And I hope you guys had a great 4th of July, and I hope you have a beautiful week, short week this week, and sending all good vibes, all love to you, my angels, and thank you again so much. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.